So while Jay scoops the ice cream, I'm gonna read out a question I got from a commenter that I really liked. Erwin Tan asks, I've lost 20 kilos since October last year. So over 8 months, he's lost 45 pounds, over 5 pounds a month. That's amazing. Good job, Erwin. He says, I'm still tracking my calories and I don't know when I should stop. I've already hit my weight goal, but my body fat percentage goal, not yet. Currently at 18% and I'm aiming for 15%. Help me please, I need advice. It's a great question. Okay, first and foremost, body fat percentage is something you basically don't even need to worry about. Like these at-home bathroom scales, Hume scale, whatever, like they're completely estimating things. Basically how it works is it sends an electrical signal up one of your legs through your midsection or through your hands as well if you get the advanced one. And then it records the response time of that electrical signal through your other leg or through your midsection, whatever. And then it estimates based on the response time of that electricity, how much fat you're carrying, because it's just guessing based on the hydration values, known hydration values of body fat and muscle, based on how conductive you are, it's gonna estimate your body fat percentage. But there's some problems with that. First of all, regional muscle and fat distribution. So there may be more fat in certain areas like your lower half or less fat in certain areas like your lower half. So it may skew the results that way. Secondly, since it's based on hydration and not actually measuring body fat in any way, your levels of hydration, carb intake, salt intake, all that stuff can massively impact the numbers that you actually see on the scale. So it's a massive estimation and I wouldn't even worry about it in the slightest. So if your scale says you're 18% body fat, but you look the way you want, who cares? Or if it says you're 15% body fat and you look in the mirror and you're like, damn, I'm a fat chud. Who are you gonna fucking trust? Your eyeballs or the scale you paid way too much money for?
We had a client, still have a client, who came to us and was like, oh yeah, I'm 18% body fat, I wanna get down to 15% body fat. And he's lost, what, like 25 pounds or something like that since January? He's still not even 15% body fat. But again, we're going based on more of a visual scale, which can be helpful. But I really like your kind of method of just, when you look in the mirror, ask yourself, am I as lean as I wanna be? If the answer is no, keep going.
Yeah, basically. And don't be attached to any like weight goal necessarily. You might find if you need to get like, or your goal is to get ab lean and really see definition and cuts and like deep leanness, you're probably gonna weigh as much as you did in high school. Like just be prepared for that.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be 200 pounds and lean at 5'9" as a man. It's not realistic. And if you're a lady, that's like a whole other conversation. I bet you can speak to that a little bit more than me.
There's always more fat to lose than you think that there is. I know like ladies, we just tend to carry more fat generally, but it's just always more than you think. I know I thought, oh, if I just lose like 10 pounds, 15 pounds, like I'll have a flat stomach. And then I lost 40 pounds and still didn't have a flat stomach.
Why do you think that is that most people like? Why do you think that happens?
Overestimation of how much muscle they have and underestimation of how much fat they have. I don't want to say it's just pure coping, but I think it's really hard to know exactly how your body will look if you've never been down there before. If you've never been shredded, how do you know what weight you'll end up being at? You don't. It's easy to look at what other people weigh and say, oh, well, they're the same height as me, so I'll probably end up weighing the same as them. No. Absolutely not. Especially if you're comparing somebody who has a good amount of muscle. But even then, bone density is something that is just so underrated, let's say. You could be the same height as somebody and even have the same amount of muscle as them, and they could weigh 15 pounds more than you or less than you. So using other people for comparisons isn't helpful either.
Yeah, different frames.
Yeah.
And I think the other one too is like, you look at your stomach and you're like, okay, like there's gotta be just 20 pounds there, but you're not accounting for all the fat you're losing around your neck, your lower back, your tricep, your chest area in front of your front delt and your pec. Like seriously, pinch your ass and see how much fat you can grab on your ass, your lower back. Like there is so much more than you think. For you, Erwin, your question was, not sure when I should stop. Aiming for 15%, I'm at 18%. I would say abandon the number. Don't worry about 15%. Just ask yourself if you're as lean as you want to be. If the answer is yes and you're happy, kudos, bro. Like congratulations, you've done it. Now just switch to maintenance, start focusing on more muscle growth. That's where the real magic happens with fitness. Most people just get way too caught up in like, I want to lose fat, I want to lose fat, I want to be leaner, I want to be leaner. And it just leads to this perpetual cycle of forever losing weight, gaining it back, never learning how to maintain, and never honestly giving yourself a chance to train hard in a well-fed state for an extended period of time and build a good amount of muscle, which actually is what makes a difference to your physique. People come to us all the time who've hired coaches and trainers and they're like, yeah, I lost 30 pounds and then I gained it back. And they look the same or worse because they never built any muscle. They never even learned how to maintain their body weight. It's like, God, come on, bro. Maintain if you want to, if you're lean enough. Otherwise, pick an end date, like decide, I'm gonna do 6 weeks, 8 weeks, 12 weeks of fat loss, and then do it and get it over with. So you can get to the more productive part.
And also like decide even roughly like what the actual goal is in terms of where you're wanting to end up, but also not being super married to that. And what I mean is if you're wanting to see your abs, for example, you may reach a point in the dieting process where you're not, like maybe you start to kind of see them, and it's easy to think, if I just lose a little bit more, if I just keep losing more and more, I'll see them. But it also just could be that your abs are small and that more fat loss is not the answer, especially if you have been dieting for a long time and you're feeling maybe a little bit burnt out in the process. It may not be the right answer. You're also depleted the longer you're in the fat loss. Taking an extended time on maintenance, your muscles are gonna fill back up. You're actually gonna look leaner a couple of weeks after finishing your fat loss than you did at the time, which people never seem to really believe you when you say that. They think, how is that possible? It is. Your weight will go up by 2 to 5 pounds, depending on how big of a person you are, and you will look leaner. It's a mind fuck, truly, but it may just not be that actually pushing more for fat loss is the answer.
That is a great point. Holy shit, how come I didn't say that? Why have you not been on the channel sooner, bro? Yeah, and like besides just abs, like abs are a really good representation of that because you can visually see and be like, damn, I still don't have the abs I want. Well, they need to just be bigger.
Yeah.
But the rest of your body too, you might just be chasing, okay, I don't look the way I want. Like I need to lose more fat, lose more fat, lose more fat. When in reality, like you're just carving away at this piece of stone, but there's no David underneath. Like, bro, you gotta build size. You have to have muscle. And if you've never spent that time, I tell people, 6 months, a year, realistically, a year of training hard, progressing in your training, like taking it seriously, while eating enough calories to support growth. That's what it takes for most people to actually look like they lift. So don't be tied to the time frames. Don't be tied to the body fat percentages, and don't be tied to the number you see on the scale. Make a good push for leanness, set an end date to it, get it over with, and then get into the productive zone, and you can lose more fat later. You don't have to get as lean as you need to be or want to be in your first swing anyways. Zoom out a little bit. See this as a physique development is a multi-year rest of my life journey thing that you're going to be chasing. So if you don't get as lean as you want to be in the next 6 months or by summer or whatever, it's not that big of a deal. It's just a stepping stone that sets you up for your next push.
Yeah.
And if you're like, well, Matteo, how do I do a fat loss push? How do I do a muscle gain push? How do I train for muscle growth? All these things you're talking about. Well, go watch this video next if you want a practical step-by-step guide you can follow to just work out and eat in a way to get your best ever visual results instead of just going in there, putting a bunch of effort towards healthy eating and random workouts and not actually seeing any changes. In next week's video, I'll answer another question and talk you through some more of my muscle growth training and show you what I've been up to in the gym. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss it.
Maybe your comment could get answered.
In the wise words of one of my favorite coaches, the best comments get turned into videos just like this.